welcome to Lights, Camera, Austin. My name is Robert Sims, and you're listening to KOOP Hornsby, Austin 91.7 FM. We're also streaming live at koop.org, and you may also follow the show on Twitter at Lights, Camera, AUS, and on Facebook, you may search Lights, Camera, Austin. And you may find archived interviews and film reviews at the show's website, lightscameraaustin.net. Thank you for joining me today. For the next hour, I'm going to talk about what's going on locally in film. My first guests today are the members of the jury and audience winning teams of the 2012 Real Change Film Frenzy, which was held January 13th through the 15th. I'll then be joined by the Paramount Theatre's film programmer, Jesse Trussell, to discuss the comedy film series, which is currently underway, and the upcoming Shaun of the Dead pub run and screening, and the Paramount Break a Leg 5K. I'll also share some random thoughts on the Oscar nominations and review Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, The Iron Lady, and Pariah. And I'm going to have everybody go live now and then talk to Aaron in 5 minutes or so. Thank you for staying with Lights, Camera, Austin. Presented by Lights, Camera, Help and the Alamo Drafthouse, the 2012 Real Change Film Frenzy Contest paired a non-profit organization with a filmmaking team to shoot a cause-driven film in Austin over the course of a single weekend. 10 non-profits participated in the contest, which was held Friday, January 13th through Sunday, January 15th. The films were then screened before an audience and a panel of judges at the Alamo Drafthouse, South Lamar. The team of the Austin Batcave and Courageous won the jury award for their film, A Unique Look at Austin Batcave. The team of the Whole Planet Foundation and UN won the audience award for their film, Whole Food Foundation. And all film submissions are available to watch at https maximumpositive.com. And viewers may vote for their favorite short film as part of the online audience award. I'm going to bring in members of the jury and audience winning films in a few minutes, but first I want to introduce to Lights Camera Help. I want to introduce Lights Camera Help co-founder and director of communications education, Aaron Brownlee. Hi Aaron, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for coming in today. So can you just explain a little bit more about the contest? What was the purpose behind the contest and pairing the organizations with the filmmakers?
Absolutely. So Lights Camera Help's mission is to get nonprofits using film to tell their stories, and we thought we would have a great idea in that we would pair 10 filmmaking teams up with 10 nonprofits to produce films in 48 hours. It's a 48-hour film competition, and we really wanted to get some films made for some great organizations and also have some fun with the competition.
Now, how did you find the nonprofit organizations, and how did you pair them with the filmmaking teams?
Absolutely. So we opened up an online sign-up on our website, and we found all of our nonprofits and our filmmakers through that way, doing personal asks and things like that as well. And then the pairing was random. We paired folks up, and they sat down at a happy hour on January 5th and got to know each other, and then started a week later creating a film in 48 hours.
Now, obviously, with the 48-hour film project, there are certain rules that are in place, and you have to use specific lines of dialogues, and you have to use character names. Were there any such rules in regards to the Real Change Film Frenzy?
Well, there were a lot of specific rules as far as format and length and things like that. We wanted to allow filmmakers to take the genre of cause-driven film in the way that they wanted to take it, but typically a cause-driven film, needs to have a call to action at the end. There needs to be something that drives a viewer to go do something, right? Whether it's donate or volunteer or get involved in some other way.
So what condition was the film supposed to be in by the end of the deadline? Was it supposed to be fully completed, or was it supposed to be at a point where it was viewable and then the filmmaking teams could go back and just do a little bit of tinkering with the sound or edit here, edit there before it was passed on to the nonprofit organizations for their use?
So in the 48 hours, there was, you had to have a complete film, right? It needed to be ready to be judged. Now, what the nonprofits and the filmmakers do after that is entirely up to them, whether they want to tinker with it and adjust things The idea is that the nonprofits get all of the footage that was shot during the 48 hours as well, so that they can then take that and create any number of versions of the film that they want to in order to get the message out that they need most at that time.
So this was the first Real Change Film Frenzy?
Yes, this was the first one.
So what did you take away from the weekend in terms of what worked and what didn't work, and how will you apply it to next year's Film Frenzy?
Well, I'd say that the thing that we learned the most was that we need to make sure that everyone's on the same page as far as exactly what a cause-driven film is. I think that there was a little bit of difficulty in that at some extent, but what I really took away was that everyone really stepped up to the challenge and made a pretty amazing film, and I'm just really inspired by all the work that was done in such a short amount of time. And so I think what we're really taking away is a whole bunch of enthusiasm and excitement towards bringing it back to Austin and perhaps expanding next year into other cities.
Was there anything in the actual filmmaking process that stood out to you that perhaps could be refined for next year?
Well, I think that you're asking people to create a film in 48 hours, and actually, as I'm a filmmaker myself, and as I was watching these, I was saying, wow, these folks are going to make my job really difficult from now on, because my clients are going to expect something of that quality in that short amount of time. So I was really just overall impressed with what was done, and think that the only thing that we're really interested in making stronger is that real motivating factor of getting involved with an organization, and that's the whole point behind the causes.
So the film screened on that Sunday night before an audience and the jury. Now, what's happening with them now in terms of continuing the voting process? Viewers can go online and watch the films and vote?
Sure, so if viewers want, they can go online to MaximumPositive.com, and they can actually participate in the third level of a competition. We're having an online competition, and the neat thing about that is that you can purchase votes, and then, if you'd like, and then parse them out to the videos that you particularly like, and the nonprofit organization behind that video will get a portion of the proceeds, and so will the filmmaker who dedicated their blood, sweat, and tears into creating a film in such a short amount of time.
Great, Aaron. Well, thank you very much. What I want to do now is to bring everybody else into the conversation, and I want to introduce members of the jury and audience-winning films. Manuel Gonzalez is the executive director of the Austin Batcave, and Ruben Cantu is the founder of Core Media Enterprises. Their team, Courageous, won the jury award for their film A Unique Look at Austin Batcave. And Lauren Evans is the Whole Planet Foundation's marketing and outreach specialist, and her team won the audience award. Her team was named UN, I believe, won the audience award for their film Whole Planet Foundation. Manuel, Ruben, and Lauren, thank you for joining me today. Much appreciated.
Sure, thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start with Lauren in that case. Can you tell us a little bit about your organization, what its mission is, and how you got involved with Real Change Film Frenzy?
Sure. Whole Planet Foundation funds poverty alleviation in the U.S. and abroad. We support the very poor in communities where Whole Foods Market sources products. We are a nonprofit that was seeded by Whole Foods Market and has continued to receive support over the years from Whole Foods Market, but we are a private 501c3. And David Neff, who works with Aaron, actually is a friend of mine and invited us to have this amazing opportunity. And being a small nonprofit, having very limited resources, having a fully produced video for us to use as an outreach tool was something that was really important to us and has been the most rewarding from this experience.
Manuel, can you tell us a little bit about the Austin Batcave, and again, how you got involved with Real Change Film Frenzy?
Sure. So Austin Batcave is a writing and tutoring center for kids. We work with kids 6 to 18. We're doing school workshops and after-school workshops, and we try to bring creative, energizing writing workshops to these kids who are, maybe daunted with writing and only write for tax test essays or college application essays, and we try to give them a platform for them to discover their actual voices and tell their own stories. And I actually met one of somebody who's part of Lights Camera Help at an event, and she didn't know about Austin Batcave, and she was very excited about us, and she told me about the Real Change Film Frenzy, and said that
Now, Ruben, why did you decide to get involved as a filmmaker?
Lights Camera Help in general has been a good partner and supporter of CORE, the parent company of the team that we made. And David, Neff, and Aaron have been, cheerleaders and allies. And so I felt that as a good gesture and part of building community and giving it back and paying it forward, I wanted to help the nonprofit because they do so much and send us work a lot. So that's part of why I wanted to support the Film Frenzy.
So, Ruben and Manny, when you sat down to decide how you wanted to approach the film, the short film you were going to make, what discussions did you have, and what was the message that you decided that you really needed to get across about the Austin Batcave?
So I knew going in that I wanted to make sure that I wanted to count. And so everybody knows I have a competitive nature, and I wanted to win, and I wanted to I want Whole Foods. Let's try to work with Whole Planet. It's like, no, I'm sorry, that's taken. I'm like, okay. And so for the longest time, I was like, okay, I have these other nonprofits that I want to choose from, and I didn't know which one to go with. And finally, after doing my due diligence, and David said, you know what, I'm just pairing you up with this person. I got paired up with Manuel, and I was like, you know what, that's a good thing. And so after getting a chance to meet Manuel, I got to understand the workshop that he creates and the intricacies and how he connects with the children. And I said, you know what, I want to tell the story, and I wanted to personalize it. So the reason that the title is called A Unique Look at the Austin Batcave is it's actually a double entendre. The young lady that we interviewed, her name is Unique. And so we were able to tell the story through her eyes. And that's, I think, why we were able to connect with a lot of people with that piece.
Can you describe the piece a little bit? I believe you have 2 or 3 people in there that you interview about their experiences with the Batcave, is that correct?
We realized in order for this piece to stand out, people needed to connect with it. And the only way I knew how to do that is to actually have the people tell their stories individually. And so instead of saying, the Batcave does this, the Batcave does that, and just kind of general level of explanation and kind of plain vanilla, we felt that we needed to let the students talk. So we interviewed Sochi, we interviewed, I think this girl named Roxanne who didn't quite make it to the final cut, and we also interviewed Unique Stanberry, who is a young junior at Anderson High. And through them and their teacher, Matt Earhart, and also Manuel, we all got to kind of get the perspective of what the Batcave does and how it transforms kids' lives.
And what was the most important thing that you wanted to communicate in the film?
Well, the impact that we have in the classroom, because a lot of people wonder what's the benefit of a creative writing workshop. Everybody's pushing for science, technology, engineering, math in education, and a lot of the arts are being pushed aside. But there's a lot to benefit for the students in engaging in their creative writing skills or just any kind of artistic endeavor. And we wanted to make sure that the impact that we had on the students came through. And I think that Ruben and his team did a great job focusing on Unique, who is, while her name is Unique and it's a unique view of Austin Batcave, she's not a singular case. She is one of many similar stories of kids who have taken our workshops and have been really transformed by just being able to discover their narrative voice, their own voice, and tell their stories. But what I liked is how they were able to take her impression of Austin Batcave and tell her story and connect with her, but also through that tell the wider, larger scope story of what Austin Batcave manages to do week in and week out. And so that's what I was really happy with how they were able to do that.
Now, Lauren, your team members aren't here today, so can you explain a little bit about the approach that you took with your team members in communicating the message that you wanted to get across to viewers?
Sure. Well, I sat down with our Whole Planet Foundation team beforehand and said, what's our biggest challenge? What do we really want to accomplish with this film? And our biggest challenge that we face is awareness. And awareness garners support for our foundation and makes our work possible. Another challenge that we faced unique to this situation was that even though we're based here in Austin, our work is not in Austin. So we didn't have the opportunity to interact with the microcredit clients who benefit from our support. We had to tell our story without actually getting to witness firsthand the type of work that we do. So with those two challenges, we said let's find a way to build a relationship with the audience so that they want to learn more, so that we leave a solid memory in their minds. So we used humor as a gateway to lay that foundation down to tell the audience at the end who we are and what we do. So we had cast some really funny characters that set the stage for some humor and engage the audience that way, and then we ended our piece with who we are and what we do, and where folks could go to learn more about our work.
If you're just joining Lights Camera Austin, my guests today include Anne Bramley, who is the co-founder and director of education and communications for Lights Camera Help. Lights Camera Help and the Alamo Draft House presented the 2012 Real Change Film Frenzy Contest, which paired a non-profit organization with a filmmaking team to make a cause-driven short film. I'm also here today with Manuel Gonzalez, who's the executive director of the Austin Batcave, and Ruben Cantu, who is the founder of Core Media Enterprises. Their team, Core Rages, won the jury award for their film, A Unique Look at the Austin Batcave. Lauren Evans is the Whole Planet Foundation's marketing and outreach specialist. Her team won the audience award for their film, Whole Planet Foundation. Well, Lauren, let's ask you first this question. Was it hard to incorporate everything that you wanted to incorporate in a video that I believe yours lasts around 4 or 5 minutes?
It's about 3.5 minutes.
So you were able to successfully get your message across in that time. There was no sort of, given that you had a 10-minute limit, there was no need for you to adhere to that at all.
I didn't think so. I think being short and to the point was successful, I think, for all of the films that we were able to see. We were able to get humor across and build the relationship with the audience, and also tell people a little bit about who we are, what we do, and get them to build a relationship with the women that we support.
And the same question for you, Manuel and Ruben. Again, you had 10 minutes, and you had mentioned that one of your interview subjects didn't make the cut. Was that a conscious decision because you felt that at around 5 minutes or so you had gotten your message across, and that perhaps having that other subject would be repetitive in terms of trying to get your message across?
Honestly, to be truthful, we wanted to extend the documentary longer. I was fighting with my editors. I had a great team. We had a team of about 10 people. We had 2 animators, Monica and Phil, who came in and helped on their behalf, and Lorenzo, and I mean, the list goes on. I can name everybody. But the hard thing was, at the end, we're trying to fit it into 5 minutes. And so there's an editing term that we call kill the babies. No offense to any babies out there, but it's an editing term that people use in saying cut it out, cut it out, cut it out. So there's a lot more great stuff that we wanted to put in there that we didn't get a chance to.
There's a whole story I told on camera that made Ruben cry.
I'm not so, I don't know if I'm proud of this yet or not, but yes, Manuel got really sentimental, and some tears started. I started watering up, so don't tell everybody that.
Is there any intention to perhaps, I don't want to say do the director's cut of
Yes.
the short, but have you discussed perhaps maybe extending the short film?
There's enough to not only make a longer piece, but several short vignettes that cover the different students' perspective of Batcave.
And also we're going to have a DVD commentary.
We're doing the same thing too. We found an opportunity to actually get ours in final form that we wanted to share with our followers. We're going to do outtakes of all the humorous scenes that we did, and be able to add some more content of our microcredit clients that we couldn't because of the rules with the Film Fest. We're excited to finish ours as well.
Well, Lauren, let me ask you about any of the challenges that you faced while you made Whole Planet Foundation. How tough was it to do this in a 48-hour period? What challenges did you face, and what was the most difficult obstacle that you overcame?
Sure. We did all of our shooting on the first day, on the Friday, and then we focused Saturday and Sunday on editing. And when we left the editing studio on Saturday, we knew that we had at least a couple hours on Sunday to get our finished product done. Unfortunately, our editor did not show up, and so what we showed was not our finished product. So that was our biggest challenge. But taking that as an opportunity to finish the product in its full form, and really be able to tell people who we are and show more of what we do.
So is the version that's on maximumpositive.com, is that the final version or the version that you showed to the jury and audience?
We will have a new version edited and ready to release next week.
And Ruben, what were some of the challenges that you faced during filming, and what was the greatest obstacle that you had to overcome?
I would say lack of sleep. I think I slept a total of 45 minutes during that process. I have to, again, thank the whole team, the Hook Courageous team, being part of it. Some of the key challenges were we wanted to shoot a lot more, and I had to make the decisions not to go get certain key shots that we wanted to on Saturday. And we actually then found out once we started laying things that we needed a couple extra shots. So some of the shots that we had cut out, we added back in, and we had to go out on Saturday and go and get those extra shots. So it was a lot of back and forth, but so to be able to have done all that in 48 hours is quite remarkable, and it's a testament to teamwork, above all on anything.
So Emmanuel, how do you plan to use the short film that's been made? I mean, obviously you're going to use it to promote the Austin Batcave, but in what way are you going to use it?
Well, it's a really good calling card for potential donors and volunteers and people who just want to get involved with Austin Batcave. And it's just a really easy way for everybody to see, like I said, the impact that what we do has on the students that we work with, and also covers most of the ground of the kinds of things that we do and why everybody's as invested as they are in this project. And it really energizes everybody who's watched it. They've watched it multiple times, they've gotten teary-eyed because of it, which is still surprising to me. I must be very cold-hearted. But everybody's very energetic about it and very enthusiastic about what we do. So it's a really good, just easy way to introduce anybody new to Austin Batcave, because our name is really confusing to a lot of people, because we don't deal with bats or caves.
I was expecting to walk into a cave.
Yeah, there are no caves at the Austin Batcave, not yet anyway.
Not that you're telling us about.
Not that we're telling you, that's where we keep things. So it's often, for a while we were getting a lot of phone calls at our office asking about when people could come to bat tours and the like, and this is a good way to maybe curb those phone calls and just introduce people to who we are and what we do. And it's just so easy because it's a 5-minute film and you get it. Like Ruben and his team did such a good job with telling that story that you watch it and you know exactly who we are and what we're about.
And Lauren, do you have any specific plans to use the short film to promote Whole Planet Foundation?
Definitely. I think the nature of the film being humorous to lead into who we are, what we do, and a call to action. I feel like our subject matter, poverty alleviation, is something that's very serious, and we took a humorous situation to kind of set the stage for that conversation. And we haven't had an opportunity to play with humor and something lighthearted before, and so using this as an opportunity to connect with Whole Foods Market team members and customers and our vendor community and everyone else who supports us is something lighthearted with this serious follow-up at the end and a call to action.
So let me turn the conversation back as we wrap things up to Aaron. So next year, given what you've gone through this year, are you going to keep the number of non-profit organizations and filmmaking teams to 10? Or is there any plans to expand beyond that, or is this sort of a nice number, manageable group of non-profits to work with?
Ooh, that is a great question, and we are still gathering all of our feedback, and we are still thinking about next year and coming up with some decisions on that. We definitely are interested in expanding. We want to give everyone a chance to participate.
You have non-profits on the wait list?
Oh yes, we have many people who were interested in getting on this year who are on the wait list for next year, and we haven't actually released sign-ups yet for that, and we're just really excited with the results and figuring out exactly how to implement it next year in a way that is even more exciting and gets more people involved.
And so Aaron, what is the website again for people to go on and take a look at the films and to vote for the online award winner?
Sure, so people may go to maximumpositive.com in order to view all the films and sign up and donate a little bit to some causes and help some filmmakers along the way.
And Manuel, what is the website address for the Austin Batcave?
So to get to Austin Batcave, it's just austinbatcave.org, all one word.
Ruben, what is Core Media Enterprises website address?
You can visit us at core, C-O-R-E, media, M-E-D-I-A-E-N-T, as in enterprises.com, and our Twitter is at core media ENT.
And Lauren, for Whole Planet Foundation?
Sure. To learn more about Whole Planet Foundation, you can visit wholeplanetfoundation.org.
And I also want to go ahead and give special thanks to 3 people. The musicians that came in, Bob Blakes, who donated his song, Kalu James, who did a midnight session, and especially for the equipment that we were able to use by Texas Media Systems.
Thank you very much, everyone, for coming in. It's greatly appreciated. Congratulations on your winning the jury and audience prizes, and we will hopefully see you back here next time you participate in this, if you guys do that next year. So.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I want to thank Aaron Bramley for coming in today. He's the co-founder and director of communications and education of Lights Camera Help. Manuel Gonzalez is the executive director of the Austin Batcave, and Ruben Cantu is the founder of Core Media Enterprises. Their team, Courageous, won the jury award for their film, A Unique Look at Austin Batcave. Lauren Evans is the Whole Planet Foundation's marketing and outreach specialist. The team of the Whole Planet Foundation and UN won the audience award for their film, Whole Planet Foundation. A Unique Look at the Austin Batcave and Whole Planet Foundation, as well as the other 8 submissions in the 2012 Real Change Film Frenzy, may be viewed at MaximumPositive.com, and viewers may vote for their favorite short film as part of the online audience award through the end of the month, and the winners will be announced